Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you a race today from the Legends track at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. Today's race will be 50 fast laps on a quarter-mile speedway. There are going to be 18 street stocks on that track, so we're going to jam 18 cars on a tiny quarter-mile track. We should see a lot of action. Let's wander through the starting grid, starting in position number 18, racing out of Canada. He's a regular on the NASCAR Winston Cup Class A Series in iRacing. It's Cody Jenkins in car 18. In the 17th starting position, running the Rusty Wallace Tribute car, that's the Kern Childs tire number 66, racing out of Bailey, Colorado. That's Aaron Johnson. Aaron's going to show up on your telemetry on the left-hand side of the screen as car number 17. On the racing screen here on your television, he's going to be car number 66. Starting in the 16th position, racing out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a regular in the ARCA Menard Series. He's running the Coca-Cola Camaro. That's Danny Chandler. In the 15th spot, he comes to us from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a regular in the SK Modified Series and the NASCAR Gander Truck Series. In the Red Bull Chevrolet, it's Derrick Rice. In the 14th starting spot, he comes from Los Angeles. He's a regular in the ARCA Menard Series. He's in the Wonder Bread car number 14. That'll be Michael Rebben. In the 13th starting spot, he's racing the Les Schwab Tires Chevrolet. He's from the Northwest region. Welcome, Kyle Matthews. Starting 12th, in car number 12, the Budweiser Chevrolet of Brad Jones. In the 11th spot, racing out of Club West, he's sponsored by Fanatec. He's a regular in the ARCA Menard Series, Blake Landers. Now, the top 10. In the 10th starting position, racing car number 9 from the United Kingdom or from Ireland, it's Paul Searle, who is a regular in the iRacing Le Mans Series. In the 9th spot, in car number 8, the throwback GM Goodwrench Dale Earnhardt Tribute. He comes to us from the Mid-South region. Welcome, John Stewart. In the 8th starting spot, in car number 6, also a throwback paint scheme that harkens back to the days of Dale Earnhardt, and this time the Wrangler car. He comes from the Mid-South. He's a regular in the NASCAR SK Modified Series, Scott Morgan. Starting in the 7th spot, in car number 5, sponsored by Exalta, racing out of Ohio. He's a regular in the NASCAR ARCA Menard Series. It's Joshua Kent. In the 6th starting spot, in car number 4, he comes to us from Central and Eastern Europe. He's a regular in the Porsche iRacing Cup, where he is in the top 5% of drivers. It's Lubos Nevesli. In the 4th starting spot, in car number 2, from Melbourne, Australia, regular in the Ferrari GT3 Challenge, Jack Morrow. In the 3rd starting spot, in car number 1, sponsored by the First Response Racing Team. He's from California, a regular in the NASCAR ARCA Menard Series. It's Daniel Dlugolecki. Finally, the top 2. Starting in the 2nd spot, in car number 10, the NOS Energy Drink Chevrolet, racing out of Texas, a regular in the NASCAR ARCA Menard Series. Welcome, Nicholas Hook. And finally, on the pole, in car number 1, actually in car number 7, is Juan Garland from Hispano America. Juan did not make the call. That's going to move the one of Dlugolecki onto the pole. Let's join the action. Pace car leads him down the back straightaway here at the quarter-mile flat track at the infield of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dlugolecki with the lead here. In the First Response car, it's kind of a shark-tooth car here. He leads them out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. The green flag's out. Dlugolecki hammers the throttle, and the 10 car gets the jump. The 10 of Nicholas Hook takes a quick lead here, slides up to the high on the outside. Looks like Hook got bumped, and that's going to put Dlugolecki in the lead, followed by the 3 of Josh Hohensee. Josh Hohensee running in the 3rd spot now. So it's Dlugolecki 1, Hohensee 2. Looks like the 5 of Joshua Kent has moved up to 3rd. The cars that were on the outside line here on the start seem to really get off to a bad start there when the 10 of Nicholas Hook got in all kinds of trouble there between 1 and 2. Dlugolecki continues to lead. He comes out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway to complete lap number 2. Laps go by quickly here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dlugolecki with the lead. Joshua Kent in 2nd. Jack Morrow running 3rd. As Kyle Matthews in the 13 moves into 4th and Blake Landers is in 5th. But out front, it's Dlugolecki with a big lead. Somebody ran off the racetrack there. That looks like the 2 car of Jack Morrow getting up high. Daniel Dlugolecki now working on the 10, already trying to put the 10 of Nicholas Hook a lap down. We're 4 laps in, and our second place starter, the man who was on the front row outside, is falling into the clutches of the leader here, nearly a lap down, only 4 laps in. Looks like the 10 of Hook has got a severe push. Hook sliding up high on the racetrack. The 6 of, who was that? The 6 car there of Scott Morgan. Looks like he's just gone under Nicholas Hook. So up front, it's the 1 of Dlugolecki, followed by the 2 of Jack Morrow, then Brad Jones in the 12. Aaron Johnson in the 66 has moved from 17th to 4th in just 6 laps. Johnson taking advantage of some of the pratfalls some of the other drivers are having here. That's the 2 of Morrow sliding off the track again. The 1 gets into the 18. The 1 in the 18 spin, that's the 18 was the lapped car of Cody Jenkins. That's going to put Aaron Johnson right on the back bumper of the 1 of Dlugolecki. I think that's going to put the 12 of Jones in the lead. Dlugolecki gets too high now. Johnson goes underneath. That's going to put Aaron Johnson in, looks like, first place. So Aaron Johnson now has taken the lead 8 laps in. Boy, things happen fast here at the Charlotte Legends track. Johnson out front, followed by the 1 of Dlugolecki, then the 12 of Brad Jones. Johnson working on the 16 car here. That's the lapped car of Danny Chandler. Johnson trying to put Chandler a lap down. Chandler running pretty hard here to stay on the lead lap. There are no cautions in these Rookie Street Stock Series events. If you spin out, you just lose ground, so you've got to make that up somehow. Johnson working on the back bumper of the 16. Johnson looks underneath as the 16 car of Chandler goes high. Chandler gets up against the wall. Johnson makes the pass to put Chandler a lap down. Aaron Johnson now 10 laps in, and he's got the lead at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Johnson down the back straightaway leads the lapped car of Danny Chandler. No one in front of Johnson. He's got a clear racetrack for about half a lap here. Johnson seems to be running a nice smooth line in that Rusty Wallace Tribute Chevrolet. That Rusty Wallace Tribute Chevrolet, that's a car that Rusty Wallace ran in the late 70s, often as part of the ASA, occasionally ran in the USAC series as well, and sometimes ran that similar paint scheme, the Kern Racing Engines Child's Tire paint scheme at the Fairgrounds Speedway and up at O'Fallon, a couple of other paved tracks in the Midwest in the late 70s when Rusty was cutting his teeth on the short tracks throughout Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, even over into Kansas. Johnson comes by to complete lap number 12. He's got a big lead now. Johnson out front ahead of Brad Jones by about a third of a lap. Johnson heads down the back straightaway. He's closing on the 10 of Nicholas Hook. Hook still looks like he's got a terrible push. Hook pushing hard out of turn number 4. Johnson goes underneath. Aaron Johnson puts Nicholas Hook 2 laps down now. Johnson closing on the 3 of Josh Hohensee, who is 7 laps down. There was a spin. That was looks like the 8 of the 9 of Paul Searle had spun there. Johnson continues to close on the 3 of Josh Hohensee. Johnson comes past the start-finish line to take the beginning of lap number 15. We're 15 laps in to a 50-lap race. This is Aaron Johnson out front. He's well ahead of Brad Jones, followed by Blake Landers, Michael Robin, and Joshua Kent. Then Jack Morrow in the 2 is in 6. Scott Morgan now just past Jack Morrow. Morrow must have had a mechanical failure. He has exited the race. So it's Johnson, Jones, Landers, Robin, Kent, followed by Scott Morgan, Jason Stewart, Lubos Nevesli, and Daniel Dlugolecki, the last car on the lead lap. There are 9 cars left on the lead lap here. We're 16 laps into a 50-lap race. Johnson passes the start-finish line to start lap number 17. Looks like the 1 of Dlugolecki bumped the 8. Both cars managed to straighten up. Johnson now behind Dlugolecki and the 8 car of Jason Stewart. He'd be looking to put the 7th and 8th place cars a lap down. Johnson down the front straightaway. Stewart and Dlugolecki running side by side. Stewart spins Dlugolecki around back where Dlugolecki goes. Looks like Dlugolecki's car ended up upside down out of that mess, but he managed to get it straightened out. We'll go back up front with Aaron Johnson, who's trying to get underneath the 8 of Jason Stewart. We go past the start-finish line, this time to start lap number 19. Johnson turns down, looks to the inside. The 8 closes the door. Stewart trying to stay on the lead lap. Stewart down low, Johnson up high. They come into turn number 3. Johnson on the outside, Stewart on the inside. He's keeping that car right on the white line. Very hard here at the Legends track to get any grip on the high side. There's no banking. These are very flat corners. The inside line is the fast line. Stewart continues to hold off Johnson. Now lap number 20 getting ready to be in the books. Jason Stewart continues to try to hold off the leader. Aaron Johnson showing some patience here. We'll begin lap number 21. Johnson up high. He looks underneath the 3 of Josh Hohensee. Stewart continues to hold Johnson off. They come out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Johnson behind Stewart. It's Stewart, the lapped car, trying to remain on the lead lap as Aaron Johnson looks to put him a lap down. Johnson finally gets a wheel under Stewart as they come past the start-finish line. Start lap number 22 into turn number 1. Johnson makes the pass. Johnson comes out of 2 onto the back straightaway, continuing to lead. He's got a straightaway before he's got to worry about any other traffic. Johnson very quickly putting distance between himself and Jason Stewart. Johnson now has lapped all but the top 6 cars. Those 6 cars are Aaron Johnson in first, Brad Jones in the 12 running second, Blake Landers in the 11 running third, Michael Robin in car number 14 running fourth, Scott Morgan in the 6 running fifth, and the last car on the lead lap is the 5 of Joshua Kent. Let's walk back through the field and take a look at these cars. The 12 of Brad Jones running second, just now coming out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Jones all by himself, no traffic near Jones in the Budweiser Chevrolet. In third position, that's the 11. Sorry, in third position, that's the 14. There's some changing of positions here. The 14 spins. Boy, that's a rough call there. That's going to put Scott Morgan in the 6 in third place, followed by the 11 of Blake Landers now in fourth. And the 14 of Scott Morgan, of Michael Robin is going to move back to fifth after that little spin. Behind Michael Robin, the 5 of Joshua Kent is in the 5th position, and the 11 of Blake Landers will be in, actually Blake Landers has left the race. So Blake Landers out of competition. We are down to 5 cars on the lead lap. Aaron Johnson in first, Brad Jones second, Morgan third, Robin fourth, and here we are riding along with Josh Kent in 5th. Let's get back up front with the leader as Aaron Johnson begins to close on the 5 of Joshua Kent. Johnson now closes to within about 3 car lengths. Down the front straightaway past the start-finish line. We are past halfway, 23 to go at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Johnson works on the lapped car of Joshua Kent. Johnson with an 8-second lead over the second-place car of Brad Jones. Kent moves high, gives Johnson plenty of room. Johnson goes by on the inside, comes out of turn number 4 past the start-finish line. 22 to go this time by. Johnson with a big lead. Johnson leads Brad Jones, Scott Morgan, and Michael Robin. Those 4 cars, Johnson, Jones, Morgan, Robin, the only 4 on the lead lap as Aaron Johnson, setting a blistering pace, has put the rest of the field at least 1 lap down. At this point in time, it looks like there are only 11 cars remaining on the racetrack as accidents and mechanical failures begin to take their toll at the Charlotte's Legends track. Johnson out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway, 20 to go this time by. We're about 60% of the way through this race. It's going to become a tire management race now. Can Johnson hold on to the tires, keep from putting a lot of pressure on that car, and make this win stick? He's got 20 laps left. He's followed by Scott Morgan, Michael Robin. Johnson has now put Brad Jones a lap down. There are 3 left on the lead lap. Johnson, Morgan, and Michael Robin. Those are the 3. Aaron Johnson continues to lead into turn number 3, through the middle of 3 and 4 now, out of 4 onto the front straightaway. There are 18 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson in the Kern Childs Tire Chevrolet running away from the rest of the field. In second spot, the Wrangler car 6 of Scott Morgan. Morgan about 9 seconds back. That's about a little more than half a lap to Johnson. Behind Morgan, the 14 of Robin. Robin in the Wonder Bread car is the last car on the lead lap. The brakes glowing cherry red as Robin heads into turn number 3. Johnson just coming onto the back straightaway. Robin goes underneath the lap 3 car of Josh Hohensee. Aaron Johnson comes out of turn number 3. There'll be 16 to go for Johnson this time by. He's closing on the lap car of Michael Robin. Robin in the Wonder Bread Chevrolet trying to keep some distance between himself and the flying 66 of Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson comes out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. He'll pass the start-finish line this time. There'll be 15 to go as Aaron Johnson pulls away from the second-place car of Scott Morgan. Johnson closing on the lap 3 car of Josh Hohensee. He comes into turn number 3. Through the apex of 3 and 4 out onto the front straightaway. Aaron Johnson, originally from southwest Missouri, when he was a kid, he actually got to watch Rusty Wallace run that very car at the Fairgrounds Speedway in the late 70s back in Springfield, Missouri. Now Johnson hails from Bailey, Colorado. He's got a fender underneath the 3 of Hohensee. Johnson will put Hohensee another lap down and begin to close in on the 14 of Michael Robin. There's a crash. Johnson narrowly avoids the flying 10 car that's upside down the middle of the racetrack. Johnson comes into turn number 3. He can see the 14 of Robin out the front windshield. Johnson closing. 12 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson in the flying 66. Really putting on a show here at Charlotte Motor Speedway and the Legends track. Scott Morgan continues to run second in that throwback Dale Earnhardt paint scheme from the really from about 1980, 1981, when Earnhardt was racing for Wrangler in the Cup Series. Won his first championship, what was it, 1980, driving for Rod Osterland, I believe. And I think this is a little bit of a throwback to that blue and yellow Chevrolet that Earnhardt ran. There was a little period of time when Earnhardt was running the Wrangler Ford for Bud Moore. Most people don't remember that, before Earnhardt got hooked up with Richard Childress and they went on to make NASCAR history. Johnson now is closed onto the 14 of Michael Robin. Johnson looks to the inside. Robin stays high, gives Johnson plenty of room. Johnson turns underneath coming out of turn number 2, going into turn 3. He'll complete the pass. Johnson puts Michael Robin a lap down. That leaves 2 cars on the lead lap. Aaron Johnson running in first place comes past the start-finish line. 8 to go this time by. He's chasing the 6 of Scott Morgan. No way Johnson's going to catch Morgan here. Morgan 9.5 seconds back. He's coming out of turn number 3 just as Johnson comes down the front straightaway. It's about a half a lap between Scott Morgan and Aaron Johnson. Let's hop back in the car with Johnson in the 66 as he comes into turn number 3 through the apex of the corner now, out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Johnson with a little bit of loose there as he comes out. 7.6 to go this time by. Johnson continues to lead. He's looking to put the 4 car of Lubos Novesli 2 laps down. That's the 4th place automobile. So Johnson has lapped the field with the exception of Scott Morgan, and he's put all of the field with the exception of Morgan and Robin 2 laps down. Johnson keeping up a blistering pace at the Charlotte Legends track. 5 to go now. Johnson down the back straightaway into turn number 3. That Kern Chevrolet really flying. I don't know if it's got a Kern racing engine or not, but we can certainly pretend that it has, as Aaron Johnson putting on a show at the Charlotte's Legends track. Out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Johnson can see, looks like it is the 3 of Josh Hohensee yet again. Johnson can see Hohensee in the front, out the front window. Johnson closing on that lapped car as well, but it looks like with 3 to go, Johnson's not going to have to worry about making any more passes at this racetrack. We see that Scott Morgan, the last car on the lead lap, has just gone by the start-finish line. Johnson going by now. 2 to go this time by. Johnson closing on the 10 of Nicholas Hook. Hook had that terrible push early in the race. Looks like that car is still pushing something awful. The 3 of Hohensee goes around. Johnson looks underneath the 10 as they come out of turn number 4. Johnson will take the white flag this time by. Aaron Johnson passes Nicholas Hook. He takes the white flag. 1 to go. Johnson into turn 1 now, out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Holds a nice, smooth, steady line. Johnson with a big lead, almost 10 seconds over the second place car of Scott Morgan. Johnson comes out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. He's going to take the checkers here. It'll be Aaron Johnson in the Rusty Wallace tribute car, that Kern Child's Tire Chevrolet, taking first. Scott Morgan in the Dale Earnhardt throwback Wrangler car number 6. It's very loose coming out of 4, but he's going to hold on to take second. Michael Robin will finish 3rd, Lubos Novesli 4th, and Joshua Kent will round out the top 5. This race was 50 laps, 50 hard laps at the Charlotte Motor Speedway at the Legends track. Aaron Johnson's going to come home your winner. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.